Hey guys, Ron here, and you know what memes are. You were born between 1985 and 2020, unless you weren't, but you've made your way online, so I don't have to explain to you what a meme is, but I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't familiar with every new Pokemon meme that has sprung up in the last year. And given that a new generation has just begun, there are more memes than usual. So in this video, kinda like the previous 5, I will give you the origin and usage of various Pokemon memes. So make sure you've seen the previous videos if you haven't, once you're done with this retrospective. And I may miss a few, but this is a series. We can cover them in the next episode. But there's no better way to start than by introducing last year's first Pokemon meme, the Furret Walk. In January of 2019, the YouTuber Narpi posted a video of Furret's walk animation alongside an Accumulatown remix by Ricora, titled He Walk. And that's when Furret immediately walked into our hearts. People like United Beats would create hour-long versions of this walking friend, culminating in Bouncy Shield's Furret Walk around the world. From then on, multiple videos of Furret just walking anywhere and live streams of Furret doing its thing became a lasting trend. 11 Pixels stream won't end until Diamond and Pearl remakes are released. And anytime I use Accumulatown's wonderful theme, my comment section is filled with references to this meme. Nobody calls Accumulatown's theme by its original name anymore. It's the Furret song now. This whole meme stayed relevant and wholesome even through the controversy surrounding Pokemon Sword and Shield. Things were pretty tame though around the times these games were announced. The first meme that was associated with the titles were the titles. Sword and Shield? What's next? Gun? Pokemon Gun? Yeah, that's pretty much the joke. It's still a thing. But the most positive of reactions I've seen in the fandom was the reaction to the Galar starters. Each one had a personality that a bunch of people could get behind and relate to, and all 3 were treated as our children, instead of 1 or 2 being dragged by half of the community. Grookey and Scorbunny were incredibly versatile and could be associated with any action and therefore highly memorable, but Sobble's exaggerated timidity really helped people latch onto it, not necessarily as their favorite starter, but at least as a little lad that needed to be protected. And therefore Sobble became a sad boy icon, and still is. It's the easiest meme to understand. You get it just by looking at it. Sobble's sad. But the thought of a Scottish female protagonist with a rad design was what got the internet really fired up. We have webcomics of the female protag acting Scottish as ever, while the male protagonist is a posh yet gentle Brit, and a ton of voice-acted lines, particularly led by Elsie Lovelock. These Britishisms, combined with the general UK memes that followed the announcement of Pokemon Sword and Shield, really felt like a jolly old innocent time. It was all in good taste. But as we got closer to more reveals regarding the new generation, we had a press conference in which Pokemon Sleep was announced. I still don't even know what it is, but the lack of info didn't stop people from memeing the hell out of that title. Pokemon Let's Go Home and Sleep was a running gag, and people still use the logo of recent Pokemon games as general templates for memes. But the relatively barren spring came to an end when June came around, and we finally got info, new Pokemon, and actual gameplay of Pokemon Sword and Shield. But you know what people actually cared about? Wooloo! People love it! That's basically the meme. But I'll tell you how it really ramped up once we finish up with the memes from early June. People were underwhelmed by Dynamax, but memed the potential of seeing a Dynamaxed Wailord. They were also mixed on the design of Zacian and Zamazenta, but memes of them actually acting like dogs and real-life dogs representing the two helped people slowly fall in love with these heroes. That, or they felt nostalgic for Dark Souls. But the most extremely positive reactions were to the character designs of any Galar girl that was revealed. Sonia gave artists enough material, I'll leave it at that. But then Nessa came along and people went crazy, in good ways and bad ways. The good ways included amazing Nessa cosplays, like top tier ones, and the bad ways were too bad for this wholesome channel. I'm talking about racist ways. But at least we had some great reaction images to combat whatever debauchery was going on. These didn't really kick off until the games came out, but these Nessa reaction images are on topic, so it's a good time to bring them up before I have to address the Bring Back National Dex controversy. You guys know the gist. I'm not gonna explain the controversy, just the memes that came out of it. Obviously, we got the poster of the Bring Back National Dex movement, the various additions to the Gotta Catch 'em All catchphrase, artists trying to make Pokemon models in 5 minutes, which I still don't know if it was a trend for or against the whole Dexit thing. Of course, there is the name for the calling of the Dex, known as Dexit, a play on Brexit. My favorite is the Border Crossing comics by Wooden Plank Studios, which shows the effort of Pokemon trying to sneak into Galar. A meme that includes the cursed image of a Rayquaza disguised as a Wooloo with picket signs, and last but not least, the Curry Dex, a new addition to the games that seem to be super patronizing to the ones who are the most sensitive about the removal of the National Dex. But the #1 meme that came out of this whole controversy has to be that damn tree. This tree has received the most abuse I've ever seen a tree receive. The #1 use of this infamous image from the E3 demo was as a comparison to the trees from Ocarina of Time. It's kind of endearing by now. This tree has stayed solid even after all this ridicule, which is kind of the opposite of what people wanted it to do. But Yamper though, Yamper was shown. Yamper's a thing. The meme is pretty much the same as Wooloo, but with a dog. There was a little spark of joy in a field of complaints. Galarian wheezing was generally loved, at least by people who understood what this fellow's about. They either memed his Britishness or his Doug Dimmadomeness. You know Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. People were also elated that we had evolutions of Pokemon with regional forms. Obstagoon was acknowledged for strikingly resembling Gene Simmons of Kiss. The game itself basically confirms it too. Fan art of this mon is still a thing. But a true yet temporary distraction from all the Sword and Shield bickering was Pokemon Masters, or more specifically, Rosa! Rosa, the protagonist from Pokemon Black and White 2, is an early game addition to your roster and has some of the most memeable poses, expressions, and fake dialogue. Either her similarity to the hit or miss TikTok or her general Rosa-ness will get you going. I mean, to be fair, she was popular back in 2012, but this game kind of reminded us what we loved about Rosa. Now you can basically use her various reaction memes to convey so many different emotions. Try it out yourselves. I honestly want to see Rosa everywhere I go. I'd shove this meme down anybody's throat. Speaking of shoving things down throats, Cramorant was revealed, and you see, Cramorant's ability lets it dive and yeet whatever it catches. So now it's a meme used in a similar way to the Seagull Boy meme, or those various memes where someone throws something and it hits another person from a different video. Like Ash, who finally won a dang Pokemon League. You know that would become a meme, either comparing him to the previous iterations, using other Pokemon memes to meme it, or just the plethora of news and sports sites tweeting about it. It was a big deal and people still reference his win. Another win goes to Farfetch'd, who finally acquired an evolution worthy of battle. Sirfetch'd is either memed using his camp animation, in which he basically stabs his trainer, or his lance is memed in pretty much the same way a Alolan Executor and even a Galarian Weezing is. Seems regional forms are known for their legendary length! Another legendary length is the length we had to wait for Impidimp to be acknowledged by Game Freak, after he was leaked in the demo months prior. We knew he existed, but it seemed like Game Freak didn't want to reveal it. The situation in which the Pokemon Company did Impidimp dirty was kinda resolved when we fully understood the gist of this Pokemon in the 24-hour livestream. This Imp is a troll. He's here to goof and gaff, and he did just that in the 24-hour livestream by walking past and blocking actual reveals, or fogging up the nature cam that Game Freak set up in Glimwood Tangle in order to reveal Galarian Ponyta. Of course, this weird PR stunt was meme-worthy, but we're just tired, honestly, from watching a few mushrooms for 24 hours just to get a glimpse of what is admittedly one of the cutest Pokemon ever. The final meme before the games were officially released revolved around Charizard's Gigantamax form. By now, people are pretty numb to Charizard's constant promotion by Game Freak. They wouldn't have been surprised if every Pokemon was replaced by Charizard, or if the other Kanto starters hated Charizard for things it couldn't control. Some of these aren't actual memes, but rather things that were memed, using other memes. But the game's finally released, and you know what that means. People bought and played them. But this is a video about memes, so let's talk about the memes that came out of the actual game. A minor one before delving into the huge memes was the rivalry between Nessa and Milo. In the game, it was revealed that Nessa considers Milo a rival, and through their concept art, it is also revealed that Nessa's pretty tall and that Milo's relatively short, so their dynamic as friends was memed, and I definitely had a good time looking at the wholesome art that ensued. I can't say the memes surrounding Melanie were wholesome, but like the prior meme, I had a good time looking at them. Let's move on to the content I can monetize. Ball Guy did become an actual meme. I mean, he's pretty much one in the game, but whether it was his creepiness or generosity, the fact that a walking, talking Pokeball guy was giving us balls filled us with much joy or terror. I honestly don't know what people genuinely think of this guy. I do know what you think of SNOM though. SNOM is unanimously loved. Every game has a religion-forming mon. Last gen it was Mimikyu. This time it's SNOM, and SNOM is basically God now. I've accepted it. We all live to protect our Lord SNOM. Just learn from my mistakes and don't rank it anything lower than S tier on your personal tier list, or the internet will scream at you. Sorry. And you know what Hatterene does to loud peeps? It kills them. I think. Regardless, Hatterene is a subject of many memes. Either for its curvy silhouette, its knack for attacking those who are loud, or the fact that it's basically a little alien driving a hair mech. It's a very interesting Pokemon and is slowly becoming as popular as Gardevoir for many different reasons. While people meme Hatterene, it seems like its Prevo Hatrem is used as an actual meme. You see, we've learned that no matter who you are, if you bring strong emotions near this Pokemon, it will silence you violently. It's the vibe check Pokemon. So, whenever someone has a bad take online, is being unnecessarily rude, or is simply acting inappropriately, you basically slap this meme in their face to remind them Hatcham is here to examine their vibes and may deem them atrocious. But the two final memes are brought to us by what I think is the highlight of Sword and Shield, the interactable wild Pokemon and camp feature. You can bond with your potential Pokemon and those you've already trained on so many levels, whether it be by running away from various energetic or aggressive Pokemon, being unexpectedly attacked by Pokemon in the wild, running up to the cutest Pokemon who will give you a nice smile or cry, or watching a Machamp flex in your face. It's a treat to see how these Pokemon interact in the wild or in captivity in Pokemon Camp. You can watch a Cinderace kick a Togepi, which was memed to here and back. Watch the girls fight, see your precious Pokemon make their way into your arms, play ball with them and see how they would carry objects with their weird monster bods, or just watch them dance. Whether Pokemon attack you in the wild or during play, the constant is that they will attack you. Just not other Pokemon. They will just hop in place for that. But at least you'll enjoy the memes that come out of them. And if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to check the description for the music I used, the t-shirts I made, my Twitter and Instagram, and my Patreon where you can get cool rewards like seeing my videos days early and discounts on merch. You can get the same rewards by clicking the join button and becoming a member. But for now, I'll see you guys very soon.